Good morning, my dear students. How are you? I hope everything is good and you're safe. This is our fifth lecture video for lecture 5 in week 7. Okay, in this video, we are going to cover two parts. We're going to cover comprehension and we're going to cover phonics. Okay, so as I said, we're going to cover reading and comprehension and phonics. Let's start with the phonics. What are we going to take in this lecture? You are going to be able to recognize the long A vowel sounds. Okay, so you will be able to read words with long vowel A sounds correctly. Let's see how we can use the long A. It can stand alone. Example: acorn, apron, basic, major. If you notice here, the colored letter A here, it takes the long sound. Here it stands alone. It takes the long sound. A, basic, major, acre, apron. Sometimes it needs another letter. Sometimes it needs another letter to give it the long sound. Like AY, I need the AY, as in pray, pray, A. Play, play. I have long A sound at the end. Also, I might have the EY. The EY, here I take the long sound A also. If you notice that I have the vowel letter E with Y, but they take the long sound A. So the word becomes obey, they. So it takes the long vowel A sound. Also, I might have the vowel team AI. When I see AI in most of the words, they take the long sound A. Drain, okay. Faint. Or I might have vowel A, then here in the dash, I have a consonant letter. So I have A consonant, then E. If you remember at the beginning of the semester, we took the vowel consonant E, silent E at the end, which gives the preceding vowel the long sound. So here, if you notice in this word, I have A, then consonant L, then E, silent E at the end. This gives the letter A the long sound, so it becomes pale. Also here, cane, long A sound. Also, sometimes I might find the vowel team EA, which takes the long sound A, as in break, steak. Okay, and the last theme is EI, okay, as in eight. If you notice eight here, I have the long sound A. Wait, long sound A, okay? Let's move to the second slide. Okay, now let's find some of the meanings of the words. Here clay, as it's shown in the picture, clay, which you may use it to make shapes or dishes sometimes, or vases. Stray is when you're abandoned, you're without a home. You're like let's say you stay in street, so you are stray. Okay, you have no home. Okay, bale, we use these to have scoops. So this is the bale. Okay, this is the rail of the fence. Okay, and a drain. I have the drain, water drain here, the duct which allows the water to pass. Faint, the color is very light, so we say it's faint. Okay, it's not strong. Pale, look at the face of this girl. It's pale, it's like white. Okay, here I have what? Face, the faces, you know them. Graze, what is the cow doing here? The cow is eating the grass. So all the animals that move in the field to eat the grass, we say that they graze. And what do you see here in the grandmother's hand? There is a cane. This is the cane. Okay, this board, it's hung on the wall to write notes on it. We call it slate. Slate. The girl has something itching or pain here in her throat. So her throat aches, aches. She has pain in her throat. This is the steak, the meat. Okay, and here we are. What are we doing here? We're breaking the cane. So break. Let's practice. Let's use these words to fill in the blanks. Write the spelling word that best completes each sentence. Horses will. Okay, let's first read the words. We have they, graze, major, rail, faint, ache. Horses will on this green grass all day if you let them. What would horses do on the grass? Graze. The horses will graze. The girls were best friends and went everywhere together. So, and they went everywhere together. Number three, they ordered the troops to attack at sunrise. The major ordered the troops to attack at sunrise. Four, he stood on the fence to see better. He stood on what? On the edge of the fence, on the top of the fence. So he stood on the rail of the fence to see better. Five, the lost hiker smiled when he saw the glow of a house light. The glow, the light, might be what? We still have faint and we still have ache. The glow might be ache. No, it is faint. Okay, it's not strong. It's low. Number six, the in my back was getting worse, so I went to the doctor. So when I have what? I go to the doctor when I have ache, the ache in my back. Also, let's continue here. Write the spelling word that best completes each sentence. We have here cane, ate, face, rail, steak, and drain. My grandfather uses a to help him walk. What does my grandfather use? A cane. Did you see the smile on that girl's? Where do we see the smile? On the face. 9. I added a chair so that there were in all not 7. So in order not to become 7, I added 1, so they become 8. B. Write the spelling word that matches each definition below. Which word means what pottery is made of? What pottery is made of? Pottery is made of clay. 12. A type of meat. A type of meat is steak. 13. What water goes down? If you remember, I said a duct where water goes down, it is the drain. Let's continue here. I have the rest of the words. Stray, break, hail, slate, bail, claim, obey. Write the spelling word that matches each definition below. 14, light or white, when it has something has or someone has a white color or his color is light, we say pale. Without a home, when you don't have a home, we say stray. To destroy, break. Writing surface, a surface where you write, it is the slate. Scoop out, to scoop out with what? We scoop out, we bail. State, to say, claim, reclaim. Follow or listen to follow or listen to something or someone, obey. Like, for example, you say you obey the rules, you follow the rules. Okay, this exercise is a graded homework for you. You have to solve it and you screenshot it and you submit it on the application, okay? Here you have the words, all of the words, and here you have to categorize them, put them into categories. First category or first group, the long A sound is spelled A, written as A only. When we say spelled A, we mean written as A only. Long A spelled AY, written as AY. Long A spelled AI. Long A spelled EI. Long A spelled EA. Long A spelled EY. And long A spelled A consonant E. So the words here in the box, you have to put them in under the correct titles. This is a graded Homework, don't forget that. So we have finished from the phonics part. Now we can move to the reading comprehension part. Our lesson this time, or our story, is titled The Talent Show. But before we start with our story, there is essential question that we have to discuss. How do your actions affect others? When we say actions, we mean the things that you do. Okay, how do they affect yourself and even affect others? Okay, how do they influence others? Sometimes they influence them in a good way, but other times they influence others in a bad way. So that's why we have to pay attention how we act beside people in order to always affect them in a good way, to try our best to always have a good influence on others. So to make it clearer for you, let's watch this video. Okay, guys. So now that we have watched the video and we can say that our actions affect others. Okay. If you noticed in the video, I had two different actions. First of all, the girls didn't let the other girl sit beside them, so that's embarrassed her. Okay, but the other girl, they made a space to her and let her join them, so she felt happy. So you see, in this way, we affect our actions affect others. It's time now to move to the vocabulary words or new keywords. Does any word look familiar? Let's read the words first. Accountable, accountable, advise, advise, desperately, desperately, hesitated, hesitated, humiliated, humiliated, inspiration, inspiration, self-esteem, self-esteem, uncomfortably or uncomfortably. Okay, both work, uncomfortably. Now, I'm sure that you're asking about their meanings. Let's move to the next slide. The first one, accountable. Look at the picture. Okay, let's read the sentence. Sam is held accountable for washing his dog. So Sam must wash his dog. That's right. So he is responsible. When we say accountable, we mean to be responsible. Okay, so accountable means to be responsible. The second one, advise. Let's read the sentence. A coach can advise you on how to improve your swimming. A coach can advise you on how to improve your swimming. So, what can a coach do? Give you give you his opinion, give you pieces of advice in order to help you, give you ideas, for example. So we can say advice to give opinion. The third word, desperately. She is desperately trying to remember where she put her keys. So when you are desperate or you're trying to do something desperately to try to change a hopeless event that is or that doesn't have any hope. That's why we say a hopeless event. Hopeless event. She is desperately trying to remember where she put her keys. Hesitated. The dog hesitated before grabbing the food off the counter. Okay, hesitated. You think, must I do it or must not I do it? So what should happen? So here you are hesitated. You waited or stopped. Okay. Humiliated, to make someone feel ashamed. How? Let's read the example. Sarah felt humiliated when she forgot her lines. She felt embarrassed, okay, ashamed. Inspiration, inspiration. The girl found inspiration for her drawing in nature. Inspiration, what stirs the mind or imagination, what makes your mind or imagination work more. We can continue. Um, self-esteem. Winning the game boosted the team's self-esteem. What happens when you win? When you win a game, for example, you feel proud. You feel that you have more self-confidence. So you have more respect for your oneself.
So self-esteem means to have respect for one's self.
Uncomfortably, Diana's throat felt uncomfortably sore. Okay? Uncomfortably uneasy. So now that we have explained the meaning of the words, it's time to practice them. Practice using them. Finish each sentence using the vocabulary word provided. So here, if you notice between parentheses, we have one of the vocabulary words, and we have to complete the sentences using the word in between parentheses. Even though the girl was very tired, what happened? Okay, she ran desperately to the finish line. She ran with no hope. She ran desperately to the finish line.
Self-esteem after the boys' team won a soccer game. What happens when you win a soccer game? Okay, your self-esteem will boost. So after the boys' team won a soccer game, his self-esteem boosted.
Inspiration, inspiration. The girls' amazing science fair project. What can we say about the project? And it was amazing science fair project was an inspiration for others to work harder. 4. Accountable. Accountable. The teacher told the students that they are accountable for their homework. They are responsible for their homework. Okay? Let's continue. Advise. I know the dentist will what? Will advise me on how to take care of my teeth. Uncomfortably, during this summer, the weather was uncomfortably hot. Number 7, hesitated. The child walked to the edge of the pool, but what? He hesitated to jump and swim. 8, humiliated. At her dance performance, the girl forgot the moves and felt humiliated. When you forget to do something on stage, you feel embarrassed, okay? So you feel humiliated. Now I have to move to the genre of the coming story or the coming text. The selection, the talent show is realistic fiction. Why or when do I say that the text is a realistic fiction? I say it's a realistic fiction when it's a made up story. It is a made up story. It's a story. It's not real, made up, but it can happen in real life. It also has characters, settings, and events that could exist in real life. Also, the characters, setting, and events could exist in real life, and it includes dialogue. Okay, it includes dialogue. Now we move to something called idioms. Idioms is something we use it most of the times during the day or during our daily life. Idioms are phrases that have a meaning different from the meaning of each word in them. If you read the idiom, okay, each word has a certain meaning, but when you read it all of it together, it will give you another or a different meaning. Sometimes context clues can help you figure out the meaning of an idiom. And now, while reading the story, you will face idioms. Let's read the story, the talent show. Tina, there is a school talent show in 3 weeks. I shouted to my best friend. My older brother had been teaching me juggling, and I knew he'd help me with my act for the show. Tina ran over to the bulletin board and read the poster. Mora, what's our act going to be? Tina asked me. Our act, I said, taking a tighter grip on my books. Tina grinned, pointed to the poster, and said, it says acts can be individuals, partners, or small groups. My grip on my books became uncomfortably tight. You want to do an act together? It'll be fun, Tina said. I hesitated for a second before continuing. I've got an idea and Tina interrupted me. Yeah, me too. Let's talk at lunch. During math, I tried to think of how I would tell Tina that I wanted to do my own act. After all, we are best friends. We should be able to see eye to eye about this. If you notice here, there's something called to see eye to eye. If you're thinking or talking about something, do you see eye to eye? No. So here, see eye to eye is an idiom. I leave it for you to guess the meaning to see eye to eye. The problem is Tina always takes charge. I don't speak up and then I end up feeling resentful about the whole situation. I desperately wanted to win, but it was more than that. I wanted to win on my own, with an act that was all mine. At lunch, Tina started talking as soon as we sat down. I have it all planned out. My inspiration came from that new TV show, You've Got Talent. We can sing along to a song and do a dance routine, and my mother can make us costumes. Yeah, that's good, I said, but I had another idea. I told her about my juggling act. Tina considered it. Nah, I don't think I can learn to juggle in 3 weeks, and I'd probably drop the balls, she said. We don't want to be humiliated, right? At recess, I ran around the track a couple of times just to let off steam. When my grandmother picked me up after school, she drove a few minutes and finally said, "Cat got your tongue." Cat got your tongue? What is this? Does the cat get our tongues? No. Then it's what? It's an idiom, and I think that you have guessed its meaning. Cat got your tongue? I explained about the talent show as she listened carefully. So, Tina is not being respectful of your ideas, but it sounds as if you aren't either. What? I shouted. I told Tina her ideas was good. No, said my grandmother. I said that you weren't respectful of your own ideas, or you would have spoken up. I understand that you're friends, but you're still accountable for your own actions. I thought about this. So, what should I do? I asked. I advise you to tell the truth, she said. It wouldn't hurt to let Tina know what you want. Besides, my grandmother added, it will be good for you, for your self esteem. When we got home, I took 12 deep breaths, called Tina, and told her that I was going to do my juggling act. She was curt on the phone, and I spent all night worrying she would be mad at me. The next day, she described her act and her costume. But the biggest surprise came at recess when we played a game that I chose, not Tina. I guess standing up for myself did pay off. So now that we have finished from the story, I think we can find the meanings of the following idioms. See eye to eye is to agree on something. Cat got your tongue. You're quiet and not talking at all. Okay? How Mora was affected by Tina's actions. What happened to Mora? Mora didn't stand up for her ideas. She didn't defend her ideas. That's how Tina affected Mora. Okay? So now that we have finished from our lecture video, I think now it's time for you to go and solve the worksheet. Try your best solving all the worksheet, but don't forget the part, the graded part. It's a graded homework, just the phonics part, one question that you must submit on the application. The rest of the worksheet is only for solving, and we can solve it together during the live session tomorrow. Until then, stay safe and bye-bye.